Well, wait. Uh, Christian, you're like fractured into two frames. How does that make you feel?
The outside now resembles my inside.
Ooh, damn, that's a deep cut. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cross Media Show, episode 25. Today's topic is Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 11. Episode 70 for the whole series? Okay, yeah. Today, we are joined by our usual guests for the show. Fee. Fee, how's it going?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
Cool. You know, I'm trying to stay positive with this episode because we got some feedback that we all hate on a 12-year-old girl. But I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay positive. Let's see what happens.
Forget them
Who
kids,
said
really.
that?
Did you mean Dino?
What the fuck?
Did he mean you?
We got a YouTube comment on one of the old episodes. So I'm trying to stay positive on the whole character of Gabi. Christian, how's it going?
Gabby's officially a horse girl. What's up, everyone? Doing well. Thank you
Damn.
for having me on.
Okay. Already starting with the deep cuts. Okay, I like it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And of course we have Ryan. Ryan, how's it going?
Hey, doing good. As the only Gabby stand here, Gabby is a good character who is just the other Aaron Yeager and balances out the show. I
Okay,
stand by this.
that's one point. Doesn't mean it's the right point, you know? It should have been something else. I screwed that up.
You got the
okay.
point across. I'm with you.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's one point of view. Okay, all right. Anyway, before we get into it, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to give us a like and subscribe. Helps us out. It gives us some feedback on the show. If this is something you're interested, we can do more. I have, thoughts on the next show that we might do, My Hero Academia. But
Yes.
We'll see. We probably won't do episodes like each episode because Jesus, this has been a long fucking 11 weeks, guys. So most
Has it
likely
been 11 weeks?
it's been 11 weeks. This is the 11th
Oh my God.
episode. Yeah. So we most likely will do like every 2 episodes maybe, or every 5, depending on how insane it is. But yeah, so feel free to give us a like and subscribe, comment, make sure to share that link, In case you missed out on any of this week's content, you can check out the website, thepenultimateconquest.com. Currently, right now, we have on the front page WandaVision Episode 7 review, which, fuck, what a doozy. Right, Christian? What a fucking doozy.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
What do you mean, yes? Well, I meant a doozy of an episode for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Shall we get into it? What do you guys
Yes.
think? What was your thoughts on the show?
Sure.
On the episode. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I feel like there was definitely some parts that I was very excited about. Another particular scene that I specifically forgot about, and now I'm having flashbacks of that particular group of people again, which is like super exciting for me. I'm just joking. I don't like it. And then yeah, it's another like it's a more exciting like episode with information in it. So it's information episode part 3, but a little bit more exciting.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Christian?
Yeah. Of the past 3 episodes, I think this one has been my favorite of all of them. I like that we're getting like confrontation with Gabby as like this desperate nationalist who like has to confront like these like moral questions of like, who am I as an Eldian? And like the final 5 minutes of this episode, I think were like fantastic. And that's not even counting the after credits scene. I just thought that like whole encounter with Kaya, I think was her name, was really great. So
Awesome. Ryan, what did you think?
I agree with Christian, where I think this was of the information dump episodes. This was a pretty good one. The scene of Gabby caving in a guy's head with a brick, good. Her just becoming more of a monster throughout this episode till the end, where she's like, "Oh, why are you guys not treating me like one?" I thought it was really interesting, and it was just a better information episode. The endings got me excited. I'm ready for where the ending will take us. So yeah, all in all, better but not the best episode of the season.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought this episode was good as a character development episode, I guess. I would have liked to have seen Gabby, have a turning point. Um, with her, character development, like, oh, well, maybe these guys aren't devils at all. They're just doing like the part where she like breaks down in front of, I forget the girl's name, but like she's telling about like, oh, her mom died for no reason, and
Kaya.
and she's talking about, well, your ancestors did this wrong thing, so you guys are all evil. And Kaya keeps going, but like my mom did nothing wrong. Like she just was living here for no reason. And she died for no reason.
Yeah.
And she keeps on going back. But your ancestors. So I was hoping that was an eye opener for her. But
It's at least an introduction.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
it should have all automatically snapped. Her.
Well, dude, she's been like conditioned for like all her life, so I don't think like that one conversation will do anything. But at least it'll get like those thoughts like percolating in her mind.
Okay, yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, I guess you got a point. Before we get into the episode summary, I'm looking up. I had saw online somewhere this weekend that they're not probably going to do 16 more episodes. That they're just going to leave this ending as an opener for the next series that they do.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's a rumor.
It's a rumor, and the only person who put it out, like where I saw it, was comicbooks.com, which we all know the legitimacy of comicbooks.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought, no, I don't think I saw it at
Mhm.
comicbooks.com. But you could be right. I could have
No,
seen
it's
it there.
okay. I know that there has been like talks after the final episode of this particular season, the 16th episode. There's supposed to be an event with some of the actual voice actors and um with the production team of Attack on Titan, and then they're going to be talking about the future, which might include either a movie, B, another 16 episodes, because the way that it's running, it's going to end at around chapter 122,
Mm-hmm.
or as you mentioned, you might specifically say this is going to be an opening for the next series, which
That doesn't
they
sound like
could.
a
There's
good idea.
multiple like, yeah, there's side specific like mangas. One being the like pre Attack on Titan, and then there's just like other like side story, particular like one shots that they could have gone through. But who knows?
The 6 Levi one shots they've done, fantastic.
Yeah, just a show about Levi. That's how they get their money.
You think they'll do a show about
That would get
Mikasa?
him the money.
That would get the money, yeah, to specifically fund chapters 123 through 139.
Wow.
Do you think we'll get a
Or
spin-off?
in the money.
Do you think we'll get a spin-off of
Again,
Mikasa?
a Levi's.
How they're like, I guess like I've seen things that like are kind of hinting at it, like her. I think it was this episode. No, not this episode. The last episode, where it's just like her
Well,
talking.
she wasn't in this episode.
No, yeah, sorry, I meant the last episode.
The
Where she,
Hizuru?
she was talking to the prisoner, and she's like, just back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Like it's her dad.
Oh, talking to Louise?
Yeah. I don't know. I could see it. Just seeing how, there's some crumbs there, here and there, you know.
Listen, when this season's over,
There's
I'm done.
definitely
Wow,
enough.
I'm a Christian on
Emotionally
this
spent
one.
on Attack on Titan.
you're done. Wow, that's crazy. I
Oh
think
my
I'm
God.
gonna go a little
But
farther.
I want to be able to see from 123 to 139 be
Yeah.
animated.
Oh no, yes, no, I'm with you.
Really
Yes.
want that.
I agree. I would like that as well. Just some for
Oh,
some
but
They're
after
gonna
that,
give it
yeah,
the Full Metal
yeah,
Alchemist.
yeah. Like I haven't
Quick-
watched.
What do they do if they do
Junior High.
anime only ending?
Like I haven't.
Okay, before we also get into the episode recap, what's everybody's take on the original Full Metal Alchemist? Do we all like Brotherhood here instead?
It's
Yes.
horseshit. It's horrible.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I
Brotherhood,
vibed with
yeah.
it when I was a kid, for sure, like on Adult Swim, but I never finished it. But it was Brotherhood that for sure is like a banger of a series.
Wow.
Or yeah.
That's crazy. Fee?
I got given the manga.
What do you mean it's
Oh, Fee,
crazy?
you can go first, Fee.
No. I was just gonna say because you said that was crazy and like.
I'll save it for after everybody answers the question.
Were you a
Sorry, Fee, you froze.
Do you?
What
She's
did you
got that glare though.
Yeah, what did you ask?
She, the look says it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, I guess. Ryan, are you a fan of Brotherhood?
No, okay, I'm back.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, continue.
Brotherhood is one of the best animes ever made. The first one
Wow,
is
insanity.
got some moments, but it's trash. That ending in that the movie tie-in with the ending
Okay,
is some garbage.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see the movie.
Oh, the movie where they're in World War II?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I definitely did see that movie. I completely
It's
forgot
horrible.
about it.
It's horrible, Ruben.
Fee, what's your response? Oh,
Can you guys hear me now?
yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Are you an FMA fan over FMA Brotherhood?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Ruben.
I'm sorry.
You make it hard to be
You should
friends
have
with you,
disclosed this
man.
before we did a podcast with you about anime.
I mean, that's how I get you. I get you in between the anime. That way you can't quit, you know?
I don't know how to do this to you, Ruben. I know you just got the crown as anime king, but
To be
I
fair,
have to
okay,
take it
to
away.
be
Take it
fair,
back,
to
take
be
it back.
fair, to be fair,
Yeah.
this is like
Lose it. Yeah, take it back.
you can't take it back. You already
It's
gave it. You already gave it to me.
It's taken back.
I was already given the crown.
I will
so.
steal the crown from you, Ruben, and because that's highly concerning.
Well, again,
highly
can I give you
concerning.
the backstory on it before we get into the episode recap? Because I have a feeling this episode recap is not going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 5 minutes long. You know. Yeah. This was like kind of. I want to say the introductory anime that I had besides Dragon Ball. So
That's why you like it so much.
yeah, that's probably why. Have I
But,
rewatched it multiple times? Absolutely. Does it hold up?
Oh,
I-
Yeah.
I watched Fruits Basket, the original from 2001. But I've also seen Fruits Basket from 2019. I'm very aware that the one from 2019 is 10 times better than 2001 in all regards. Voice acting wise, animation wise, story wise, it's a lot better. FMA to FMA Brotherhood is just here's FMA, but make it actually good. Like FMA 1,
See, I don't buy that.
they lost everybody in World War II. Like they literally
Mhm.
shipped everyone into our timeline and then we all lost it. Like we were no, absolutely not.
Okay, I could see that. Now, I don't necessarily. I'm not necessarily talking about the ending. I'm more along the lines of talking about just the story throughout the whole show. Like,
But the story in FMA
it's
is an
it's a
FMA
little
ending-
Brotherhood, but
different.
just
It's
in
a
a
little
different.
different between FMA and
Yeah, why
Brotherhood.
it's in different order.
No, well, yes, it's in different order, but it's not really the same story.
completely custom
Say that again, Ryan.
to where. So the manga for FMA was running at the same time as the original anime. So to combat that, they did
Mhm.
something that I'm so happy studios don't do anymore, which is anime only endings, and it is the king of bad anime only endings.
Yeah, again, but I'm not really talking about the ending. Is this was okay? I guess I have to do some more research and then bring this back up. Because
Yeah. Do that.
What's your questions here, Ruben? I may be able to help
because like
you.
I've seen FMA Brotherhood a few times, like throughout the whole. I've seen the whole series, but there's some things
Okay.
that are different between regular FMA and Brotherhood.
Yes, because they got to, I believe, volume 20 out of 26, and there wasn't enough there for them to finish it, so they made their own ending. So about the last, I want to say 20 episodes are completely anime only.
Okay, I guess I have to watch both all over again, and write notes, take some notes down.
Do you guys remember the end of season 2 when when Ed is being dragged like out of like Al's like inner space, whatever, and he's like, "I'm coming back for you," and then like the music kicks in. It's like, "Let it all out." I don't know. I feel very emotional right now.
I remember that.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's start this recap.
Real
Did you
quick,
even meet
No.
Armstrong's sister in FMA?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
No. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it cut off. I'm like, that's it. That's when they went to Snow.
she's a great character.
Oh, she's a fantastic character.
Okay.
Bad motherfucker because the good die young.
Real quick, when Ryan mentioned comicbooks.com earlier, for whatever reason, I was like, comicbooks.com. I wonder if there's a Home Depot, hometownbuffet.com. Turns out there is. And
What?
they do group events and tours. So when this COVID stuff is over, if you guys want to
What
do
is
a
it called?
hometown buffet.
Hometown buffet? I've never
Yeah,
heard
you
of it.
guys. Anyone else familiar with hometown buffet? Or
I know
is it
what
just
a hometown buffet is.
it's one of the most
I
awful
don't know what it is.
restaurants.
Cut him down.
Oh, it's a terrible American diner.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but the ice cream slabs.
but the
Oh, the ice cream does slap.
novelty.
Is it like an actual buffet?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
Yeah.
low quality buffet, but yeah.
Okay.
It's like a Golden Corral. If you've ever been to a Golden Corral,
Never been to a Golden Corral.
Okay, put respect on hometown buffet. It's at least better than Golden Corral. I'm sorry. I just wanted to
oh, it's better than
just to point that out.
it's better than Golden Corral, but not better than Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah,
Never been to
for sure.
Cracker Barrel either.
You should.
All right.
Great cheeses.
Cracker Barrel has such they have little games on the table you can play. This is like peg game. You gotta get the triangle to work.
What
Yeah,
are we
good time at
talking
Cracker
about?
Peg me, Ryan.
At least my topic was anime related. You guys are talking about restaurants.
I said quick aside.
Okay. All right. Now I can't tell if she's laughing or if she's yawning.
I know. I think
I'm
she's
laughing.
laughing.
Okay.
I'm dying. I'm
Okay.
just both. Why not?
Okay.
Everything together.
Let's get on with
All
the show.
right. Cap.
Deceiver.
That recapto of this episode. Deceiver. Well, we start off with
Gabi gets attacked by a horse.
That should have been
Gabi goes through with this episode. Just straight up through it. Though at the very first of the episode, she pretended like she was having some sort of manic and a guard tries to come in and help her. As I forgot to mention, because obviously this has been a major plot point in the entire season, is this freaking prison cells with no windows. I'm very annoyed by this. It's been very gross and dark. Pretty much the majority of this past 4 episodes. She gets a guard to come in. She takes the opportunity to take her back and smash a guard's head in. So her kill count right now is 2. So
Oh, so he's dead for sure, right?
Oh yeah, she beat the shit out of him.
There is
Okay,
blood
yeah.
coming out
Yeah.
of his
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
cranium. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they showed it in the manga, but it's been a hot minute since I watched it. Not watched it, but read it. But as far as I know, that guy's not coming back. So we
It's weird
we
because
see the
that's
two
how
kids.
that's who Aaron picked.
What's up?
I said it's weird because that's who Aaron picked to take over for him as the founding titan.
The guard?
Yeah, why not? He's not. He doesn't have any close
Guard
relationship.
number one?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, recipes. That's a big old fail on Aaron's part. So we see the two jailbreakers running away from the prison. Gabi telling them if they had stayed, that they would have been killed. But Falco is also very confused because he's like, "We're gonna get killed if we get caught anyway." And they are continuing to run, and Gabi says, "Can you trust those devils? Like, I can't even trust Zeke anymore." Um, Falco also, trying to be the optimist, understanding one, realized that the guard seemed pretty nice, and he was running in to see if she was okay. Like, if he was such a bad person, he wouldn't have gone into the cell and would have let her rot. So I think at this point, Falco is feeling pretty sad about what she just did because he didn't deserve it, and is kind of realizing that it shows the separation between Gabi and Falco, especially during this episode where Falco is trying to be understanding, and we kind of see him probably because of his relationship with Aaron and Marley that maybe the Eldians of Parody aren't so bad. Even though he went and destroyed everything, I feel like there's definitely something there with Falco because Falco's being a lot more understanding than the girl who's constantly calling everyone on the island devils. Um,
Well, he understands that it's like
uh,
it's way more complicated than what meets the eye. Transformers.
Exactly. Robots in disguise. We go. Um, Reiner's eyes shoot open. And he says he hears the two kids. But also obviously not to mention the fact that he is in fact shirtless in the scene. Doesn't matter why I specifically said that, but I digress. So we see Reiner waking up. He is in a medical ward. And Porco and Peck are there to greet him. Probably a little bit confused on why he specifically hears two kids' voices that isn't even there, but they don't really question it. Um, and just kind of talk about what's specifically happening. And then Reiner says that he heard the two voices. And then, no, the opening. That's what I specifically have on my notes is no. Opening. Great note. We honestly, this particular scene was very pretty at the lake, where we got to see Gabi and Falco had been running all night. They found a specific place to take a break and wash off, and it ensues with the large argument between Falco and Gabi about the armband, talking about the fact that she should remove it, and Falco was telling her, "You need to remove that armband. It'll make you stick out like a sore thumb." Gabi arguing, "But this represents who I am, and I'm going to keep it on because they're not going to know what this means." But Falco reminds her, like, "Hey, there are soldiers. They know what to look for. We need to get that removed." And when she says, "You can leave, you can do whatever you want," he says, "I will do whatever I want," and then rips the thing off of her arm.
This is
Burn.
what made me call her a
Um,
nationalist too. The fact that like she didn't want to compromise on that armband.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like her identity is like intrinsically tied to having that armband.
Oh, yeah.
And if she removes that armband, she
A devil.
will not be able to. Yeah, she'll be a devil. They won't be able to tell her between a Marlian and a devil. So they get into almost a fist fight where Gabi just throws Marco to the ground, and getting incredibly upset with him. My goodness. And trying to talk about the fact that like you don't have to die too, which I think one of the reasons why Gabby's pissed off at Falco is because one, he followed her in the first place, and two, she's already lost enough friends, so she doesn't want to lose him. But she wants him to be able to be safe. And during this complete argument, a blonde girl comes out from the woods. Who knows where she's from? Just comes out and says, like, hey, it's really early. Why are you out here? And they try to come up with an excuse saying that they ran away from home and that they hated their home and they needed to get away. So they are looking for a place to stay and they can't go back. So Kaya, who we find out who it is, offers for them to follow her home off to the farm. We see them walking up towards the farm, and Gabi tells Falco that they should steal a horse and leave. Really smart idea, really good idea. It comes and bites her on the head. But I digress again. Falco telling her, like, absolutely not. We're not stealing from these people. Like, we can't do that. And Gabi continues on, saying that they're devils and that they can't specifically stay there. And while Kaya goes into the building or the house, they continue their conversation about what they should do next. And Falco says, we will stay here for the next few days, and all you need to do is shut your mouth, not say anything. I'm the one who talks. And quite honestly, I agree. That's a good idea because she is going to blow their cover so fast.
She can't even do that.
No, she can't even do that because she continues to do it through the entire episode, starting with them being greeted in the house, greeted into the house, and the two kids ask for a place to stay, and that they'll work for their room and board. They get accepted into the household and are told to sit down to have some food. After they kind of explain their situation, Falco goes by Ben, Gabi goes by Maya, but I'm just going to specifically call them by their names during this overview of what's happening because that will get super confusing. And we see that there's 3 children at the table who don't move for a good solid 5 minutes. Like during this entire scene, when they keep on going back to the kids at the table, they do not move. I don't know what's happening there. One, I know it's due to artistic reasoning they did not have the kids move, but I thought it was quite funny that they just kept on making the same god-smacked faces. Like one of the kids was just like, I'm like, dude, the fly's gonna fly right in there. Like,
I didn't notice that. I did notice that Kaya had like a weird blank stare, but at least that was like maybe sort of like explained towards the end.
Oh my god, that stare of hers, like the shading
It's
that they
creepy.
did around her eyes, creeped me the fuck out.
Dead inside. Dead inside.
Yeah.
Oh god, this entire scene just was super awkward. Mostly because Gabi just did not listen to anything Falco said. They sit down at the table, and Mrs. Bros, who is Sasha's mother, because they have not put 2 and 2 together, obviously, that they are currently in the home of the girl that Gabi shot. And she tries to comfort them, saying, like, you must have had a long night, that you can eat food, and then once you've had something to eat, you can have a nap. Gabi slaps her hand away and goes off about how she doesn't like trust them, and Falco essentially tells her to like shut the bleep up, like stop, like why are you doing this? However, the 3 kids at the table are kind of giving Gabi some glares, and so does Kaya at the end of the episode. Not episode, but this particular scene when Gabi takes a bite after Falco tells her to start eating, and she's like her hands shaking and almost seem disgusted that she has to eat this food in the first place. That's where we see Kaya just this deadpan glare at both of them, or stare. It was pretty much like a mix between the two as they continue to eat their meal. Yeah, this particular scene was definitely off-putting, especially with the fact that we know that that's Sasha's family. The kids probably don't. Well, they haven't probably put 2 and 2 together.
It was Sasha's family?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't get that either.
Right over my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
you
it
guys not. Yeah,
at the
that's
end,
Sasha's
right?
family.
When like someone like saves her, right? That was Sasha, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
She is the little blonde girl that Sasha saves in season 2
Yeah.
from the Titan.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure if it was like okay, cool.
It's one of the bigger Sasha moments for the series where she uses a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
And kind of puts her as the kind of like archer / like shooter that she, because we did see in the later episode we hear Kaya talking about the hatchet, and you see the hatchet above the door because Sasha cannot use the hatchet to save her life, but then when she got a bow and arrow because she was taught as a child to hunt, and that's why her food obsession is insane, is because she went years without being able to find food very well due to the wall being broken down and their situation, that she learned how to use a bow and arrow for hunting. But yeah, no, that is Sasha's father and mother, and Kaya is her adopted sister.
The more you know.
Yeah. Not great. Not great for these two kids. More you know. We cut to Kiyomi congratulating Dias Zachary on their successful campaign to Marley. I mean, it was technically successful because they were able to get Zeke and Aaron out of Marley, but I'm not saying it's successful for multiple reasons. We find out that the leaders of Hizuru are in praises of Eldia and all the bravery that they specifically shown during this mission. And he tells her that he is deeply honored and welcome to the most dangerous island in the world. And tells her that it's important that she is there, and quickly changes the subject to the new airboat that they have that has like a mixture of Marlian, Hizuru, and Parody tech, which Parody tech is not that substantial, but the one thing that it's running on is the actual ice burst stone, which I looked into it after last episode, and it is a gas that the stone exerts. So the canisters that the boats have the stones in it. However, it exudes a gas that allows them to fly around.
Okay.
It is made by Titans from when King Fritz took the people of Eldia to Parody. I was like specifically thinking like movement. Like what did he do? But yeah. I should look that up after last week's episode.
I love that line too, by the way. I wrote it down in my notes, like "Welcome to the most dangerous island." Like, that just just seems badass.
It's a good line.
It is. I'm not a huge fan of Dallas, but it was a good line for him. All right. So we now cut to the center square of Parody and the walls, where a bunch of people are surrounding Hanji, asking her for answers, wondering why that Jaeger has been imprisoned and the volunteers have been detained, and why their orders to evacuate Shiganshina, the Reeves Company, which we actually were introduced to in season 3, and the son, who is now the owner of the Reeves Company, is asking her why they're specifically doing this, and that Jaeger should be free, and it doesn't make any sense why, after all the things that he specifically did for the people of the Eldian people, why he's being locked up. And Hanji is trying to tell them that like things have changed and we had to specifically do this. However, another man tells her like, you used to be on our side and you knew that the taxpayers decide what to make of information. And why has she changed? And she said, it's because of the situation. The situation changed, so the information has changed, and this is why we can't specifically provide these details. And she shoves one of the guys out of the way, and then she walks into the building to find out that someone had actually leaked all this information, and it was 3 recruits, and the ringleader of it all is Flock.
Of course.
Always
Flock.
is.
I want to go back for just a second. This was such a surprise for me to find out that like the citizens were on Aaron's side. Like Ruben finally has some people in his camp.
You're damn right.
Because I know he put that poll up saying like, did Aaron do the right thing?
Yep.
And like I would have thought like, everyone disagreed, but like no. So that was wild.
Well, yeah, like I had said before, it's, you know, why would we wait to attack them when we have literally we have an attack titan and we have the colossal titan? Why would we need to wait and have you know, a couple 100,000 of our people slaughtered when we could just take out the threat now? So that's what I
Whatever. The people are wrong.
No.
I also missed a line from Hanji when she specifically said, our walls are open to the world. The meaning of the info has changed. So it's really kind of indicating like we need to think about this. And I understand why the taxpayers are like that, and why the people of Eldia are specifically seeing like, this man went to Marley, who is our enemy, and took them out and is now back. And they don't know the whole picture.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why they're all like, yeah, we should let him free. But little do they know he could leave whenever the hell he wants because of Titan power, but they don't know that.
Right.
Because I think if the people knew how much power he had, I don't think they would be so gung-ho about letting him out.
Say that one more time, Fee.
Oh, sorry. That if they knew how much power Aaron had, I don't know if they would be so gung-ho to just allow him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also
because
true.
they know he has the like, he's done things in parody, like he took the boulder in season 1 and blocked the wall. He went in season 3 and did pretty much the same thing to allow the people to have more access, the Eldians to have more access. But I don't think they know everything and how much power he has right now, especially with his brother being on parody. And we don't know how much information Flock has given everybody other than he's the savior. Shrug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Flock. What?
Don't the people of Parody know he's a Titan?
Ryan. They know he's a Titan.
And they like, because haven't they almost tried to like, they put him on trial to kill him like 3 times, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta do it. Or doesn't kill him, makes him stronger.
I just think that they know that he's a Titan, but I don't know if they know he has 3 Titan abilities. And also everything that they've been talking about, for example, having him contact with a Titan world led to be able to begin the rumbling. Like, we don't know how much they've disclosed right now to the people.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Could you imagine thinking like, oh, we live within these walls because like we don't know what's out there. It's a whole, like, the world is full of Titans, only to realize like, no, like there's a whole world out there that we don't even know. Like, could you imagine like just living through that, learning about the whole world, learning about how people who have never even been to your island just hate you?
No, I can't imagine that. It's insane.
So
Well, I was mainly focusing on
well, like you could
them realizing like there's a whole world out there, and like what their true name is, like the Elvians, just crazy. Like I thought that when they were talking to Hanji, and I was just like, wow, it's
It's
insane.
like all these technologies and civilizations that exist out there. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
The world isn't like just this.
Yeah.
The only way of movement isn't just by swinging through trees. Who would have thought?
And horses.
And horses, yeah, that's
What
right.
if we swing
Yeah,
the horses
and
through the
horses.
trees?
And now they're trained.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're choo-choo.
get the horses some ODM gear.
I thought they did that. Didn't they make ODM gear for the horse? Wasn't that a thing?
I don't think it ended well.
I think that was mentioned I think that was one of
Like,
the
they
experiments that
tried?
Hanji. I think that was Hanji's season 1 talking about like her horse ODM gear that she
Yeah.
came up with, because I know that they have the. I think that was mentioned when they asked why they specifically like lift the horses above the wall. I don't specifically remember though.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should be swinging around on horses. That sounds better.
That
Well,
sounds good and terrible at the same time.
Yeah. I don't.
Horses
yeah,
have proven to be a strong ally in this episode.
You're not wrong.
they're like the triangles of the animal kingdom. Just strong. I don't know.
Okay.
We got some geometry humor in here, people.
Apparently so.
They have a strong base.
Oh yeah.
It really improved Jean's character.
Wow.
I've completely lost where I'm in my notes.
Same.
We are now with Hanji walking into the interrogation room to talk to Flock and the 3 other essentially Jaeger sympathizers, Holger, Wim, and Louise, and essentially reprimanding them for leaking all this information to the public and that they shouldn't have done this in the first place. And Flock believes that Aaron should be freed and that he hasn't done anything wrong and that he challenged the enemy and grasped a victory. Victory in the form of the rumbling, which secures our right to live. Aaron saved the lives of everyone in the new Eldian Empire. This is not good.
Yeah.
I put, oh, good lord, no.
No.
Hanji tells them that there's no guarantee that any of this would work in the first place, and that the rumbling is essentially a myth. Without being able to test it, they don't really know that this is even going to be a thing. Like, Zeke may have been lying the entire time. They don't know because they haven't been able to test it. And obviously, we know Hanji is believes in numbers and science and being able to test things out. And if they're not able to test it, they know that it might be a thing, but they don't know if it's a guarantee to get them out of
Yeah.
the situation that they're in. Yeah.
There's too many like unknown variables for it to be like a plan that they like fully trust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, you should check out the
But,
thumbnails text channel real quick.
Okay,
You might like
I
it.
will definitely check.
I think
that out.
you'll
1 second
you'll
here.
specifically like this.
Yeah, you might like it.
Good
I
content.
love it.
Good
I
content.
love it.
I just found it.
It's beautiful.
And I
10 out of
figured,
10.
why not? You know.
It may be
Oh my God.
your masterpiece, Ruben.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Somebody
This is
say
your Snyder
I
cut.
I was gonna say somebody say I'm the Michelangelo of thumbnails, but I guess I'll take Snyder cut.
You're
You're the
Zack
Zack Snyder of
thumbnails.
thumbnails.
I guess I'll take it. You know. And
Is
guess
Aaron
what?
Jesus?
Yeah.
Do we? You know.
Oh no, let's not.
I mean, at this point, because he has a following.
No, let's not get into this, guys. Please.
Just wait till he dies and comes back 3 days later. Epic.
Oh,
I'll tell you what.
Like Superman.
Like Superman. Thank you. Not like Jesus himself, but yes, like
Like
Superman.
Superman.
Like Superman.
Oh boy.
Poor
Hey, I'm
Phineas
keeping it
Entertainment.
non-denominational here.
I appreciate that. You're right. I'm
No,
sorry.
no. I almost like said something and then I'm like, that would spoil a lot of stuff, so I'm not saying anything.
Cool.
Oh, don't do
Cool.
that.
Well, thank you.
There's a few things I think of that you could have said.
Ryan
right
knows
there.
what's up. Ryan knows. I appreciate that Ryan knows.
Damn.
Okay, guys. So yeah, and Flock essentially says sternly tells her that it's because Aaron is locked up that they haven't been able to find out the true power of the rumbling, and they continue to discuss the topic. They both understand the importance of Aaron. Even Hanji agrees that Aaron is a huge part of everything that's going on, and she won't deny that, but doesn't want to. You can tell that she's still kind of struggling with it, that of how much power Aaron has in this particular situation, and takes full responsibility for things that have been happening. However, they will not tolerate disobedience. Since they have leaked information to the public, they will be trialed. And Flock says, if it's the sake of humanity, so it will be. And then I put, great, a crazy follower. Cool. Hanji has a flashback from season 3 with the quote, "This role of ours, there is an order to it. When one's role is done, another steps in, and the act and steps in to start the act again. Good luck, Hanji."
Yeah.
And you can see how hard everything's hitting her, but then she kind of snaps back to her normal self and says, "I'm pooped, but I have more to do," and then walks away. And I do appreciate the fact that they kind of talked about like order and how everything needs to be a certain way. And as she was walking out, we saw the 4 chairs kind of like very strategically in a very straight like square, like everything was like put in place where it should be. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that.
Symbolism.
That's cool.
Yeah. This is I'm crazy, and my notes are nuts. Because you're just like, this is associated with this, and if I could have red strings everywhere, I would, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And we're now back at the basement because obviously that's the best place to be. Back at the cells where we see Mikasa speaking with Louise, and Louise asks her, "Have you ever been in this particular cell?" And Mikasa says, "No." She probably knows about in season 3 when Mikasa was locked up in those cells after saving Parody, and fighting against Zeke and the other Titans, and Aaron getting locked up. She got locked up as well. It wasn't that particular cell though. Um, that's the only thing I could think of, why Louise is asking why she hasn't been in that particular cell, but who knows? Um, and says that it's a great shame. She tells Mikasa that she doesn't regret what she's done if the victory is their ultimate goal. Obeying the law isn't the end all be all, right? And Mikasa tells her, like, if you continue to talk like this, you're going to stay here longer. And Mikasa reminds her this multiple times during their conversation. Like, if you continue to speak like this, you're only going to make it more difficult for yourself. But Louise just continues on. And mentioning in season 3 when she actually met Mikasa for the very first time during the No Face Titan siege, um, and realized that when she saw Mikasa for the first time, looking down at the Titan, that without power you can't protect anything, and learning that it's okay to fight against senseless violence. And Louise tells her that since that day, she's wanted to get closer to her. And Mikasa just kind of grips her scarf and kind of starts getting a little bit uncomfortable about the situation. Um, and then Louise talks about she joined the scout regiment, asked her why she joined the scout regiment, and says if it was Jaeger freeing him, and then Mikasa tells her once again to shut up, and that if she continues, it's going to be not in her best interest to do so. However, she then gets flashbacks of when she was a child, in that situation back 7 years ago when Eren saved her from the bandits who killed her mother. And we see kind of a little bit more clips of what happened, which was Eren bashing the guy with a knife multiple times over and over again, and walking over to her and asking her if she was okay. And we also see five birds flying in the sky as well. And she sees the guy lying on the floor dead with a makeshift like sword javelin thing. He had like a stick and like a knife tied onto the stick, sticking out of this guy's chest. Um, yeah, it was definitely an interesting situation. And then we get to the mid intermission area talking about the island devils. And they talk about an insult to an insult referring to King Fritz and the Eldians who fled to Parody. The Parody Island threat theory claims that they still bear a grudge from the Great Titan War. And we got to see a picture of what we can assume is the rumbling because there are multiple colossal titans in the background.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's a very basic photo of what could
What could be the
happen.
rumbling? Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of nice to see because they really haven't shown anything in the season of the anime of the rumbling. They constantly mention it, like it's brought up every single episode, but they haven't really shown us any like what could actually happen and what it would look like. So it was kind of nice to see even just the rough sketches of what it would look like. And yeah, we go to Pixis questioning Yelena about the fact that 4 years ago, around the time that Eren started to act upon his word, was after the night that Yelena um, ended up hanging out with Flock, that she took him back to her lodgings, and that was it. They didn't specifically go into any details about after she took him to her lodgings, and the fact that she lived a few dozen kilometers away from Eren, and that since that particular day things have been changed since she had a conversation with Flock, and they assume Eren. And then Pixis made a weird conversation about the fact that this is now an excuse to talk to a pretty lady, but that's pretty on brand for Pixis. Yeah, that scene was very short, but also
I don't remember
good.
this scene.
It's when it's right after they show kind of like, I think it's probably one of the higher rooms in the prison that um Gabi and Falco were in. If I recall correctly, it was just one like a standard room with bars on the windows, and he was just questioning her, since all the volunteers have been incarcerated,
Mm-hmm.
since coming back
That's
from
right.
Marley.
Yeah.
Within good
Yeah.
reason. Because man, we didn't now I'm realizing we didn't get to see Zeke or Levi this episode. Sad face. But we got to, but we get to see
Interesting
the
you said.
best
I'm sorry. Well,
scene.
let's rewind there for a second. It's interesting that you said
Yeah.
sad face because as far as I'm concerned, is that not the person you hate? Levi per se, 5 foot nothing.
I don't
Yeah,
hate
but
Levi.
You're
the
not really.
dichotomy between the two is always great.
I do
Yeah.
appreciate their friendship slash hatred of each other.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
100%, the
Continue.
spinoff is going to be Zeke and Levi, like the adventures of Zeke and Levi, where they just constantly bash each other, and it's going to be fantastic.
Okay.
That is my
It'll,
dream duo.
There's not even
it'll
any
be like Drake and
Titans.
Josh.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's not. There's no
In
Titans
the
in this show.
It's a buddy cop.
Yeah.
in the woods, just them constantly getting into shenanigans on the island.
It's them camping.
There's one Titan and it's named Megan.
Oh my! I would watch this.
And it's just
I would 100% watch this.
it's just Zeke as
Oh,
the
this is
Josh character.
the next 6
Yeah.
episodes of the shows.
I like it, guys. I like it.
This is the point. We got something here. Someone
Call
call somebody who
Nickelodeon.
we can get. Call Nickelodeon. They've been wanting that
Specifically
anime money for a
Nickelodeon.
while.
There you go. Your opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, guys. The next 20 seconds is literally anime gold. When we go to the stables where Gabi and Falco are working for their room and board, while sweeping past some horses, a horse I don't know, mistakes Gabi for some hay, but it leads to the best 10 seconds of her getting her head chomped on by a horse. Falco screaming about the situation, running to help her not to just fall into mud, and throwing a bucket up into the air, hitting the roof, and then the bucket lands on Gabi's head as she falls to the ground.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't normally see slapstick in anime, but like this was great.
Was it exactly what we wanted?
It felt out of place, but I'll take it. It was fun.
Sure.
I want to meet the person who thought that this was a good idea. Like, who was just like, you know what, we should have this one scene of just Gabi at her all-time low of just having the worst luck on the planet. And just Falco going like, Gabi!
Oh man.
It was so awkward, but so great. Gabi questions the universe and why this is happening to her, and then blames all the devil. And then Falco says, "Nah, I think it's the horse."
Devil
Why is this
horse.
happening to me? Surely it's not because I shot somebody.
And then bashed someone's head in, then threatened to steal their horses, like someone else's horse, and then treated the people that gave me a roof over my head and food for a temporary time. Man, I don't know why this is happening to me. Like,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
you would
Why
think,
did this happen to me?
yeah, Falco's very, like, he knows, girl, you are bringing this upon yourself.
Yeah, of course.
The bad karma just keeps coming.
It's all her fault, and they just once again they continue to argue, and that tells them they won't learn anything from there. But Falco tells her that they should stay until someone eventually comes and gets them, because obviously someone's going to come and save them, and bets that Reiner and his brother is going to come and with a rescue team to come save them, and then Gabi says, like, well, how can you trust them? We can't even trust Zeke at this point, because he was a traitor among them. And after a very long discussion, it wasn't even a long discussion, it was just them back and forth discussing their situation. Kaya tells them that it's lunchtime. They have a cute picnic outside in the corral. It was so cute. And Kaya gives them like compliments on how like fast they're learning and how hardworking they are. And Falco points out that everyone here seems pretty young. And Kaya explains that all the people who are here and working are actually orphans, and that this is a part of the Queen's policy that gives support to children without families, which is so sweet. And I got really like emotional about it because I thought that was really nice of her to do this. And also knowing that Sasha's family is a part of it kind of made it a little bit more sweet
Yeah.
and like sincere. I'm just like, this was a really nice thing that she did. Except Gabby says she has no sympathy for the situation and all these kids losing their families 4 years ago, and that essentially it's due to their sins that this has happened, and only when Eldian accepts the depths of their sins can they begin to atone. This girl has been conditioned her entire life that these people are devils and that the reason why everything is happening to them now is because of their sins. Which I found kind of funny because she knows that she's an Eldian. Like, she has Eldian blood. She has the ability to get a Titan, and yet she's calling all the Eldians devils. I thought that was quite interesting because she just doesn't associate herself with them, even though she is one of them,
Well, see,
which
the,
seemed
the definition of an idiot is just Gabby's face in the scene. I understand that she's a child, but there's certain things in life that you have to like realize. Like, these people hate your guts. And I know, Christian, you had said like she's been conditioned this way her whole life. That's understandable, but like, you should know that these people hate your guts. You see it every fucking day. And she continues to just be on their side, which I guess I can't really give any input on that because I've never been conditioned like that before. But
mhm.
just I can't fathom.
Well, I think it's because like she has status as a person who's going to inherit the next Titan, and it also gives her family status as well. So
Yeah,
she's gaining something from it. Is that right?
yeah, but they're also
Yeah.
taking away a life she could have. So while it
That's
is,
very true. Yeah.
yeah, it's a win
Yeah.
lose situation for her, but she just sees it as a win. Wow,
I see this
Yeah.
as an absolute win. Where's that from?
I don't remember.
Me either.
Is that just a generic
No,
reference?
I don't know. I literally like my brain just turned off and I just started talking. So I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, that's fair. Continue, V. Sorry.
No, don't say sorry. I
Okay,
think
I won't.
yeah, yeah, don't say it. I think this particular scene kind of shows how far she's gone. And I think that if anything, if she had actually like if Reiner had actually explained how it was when he was in parody and the fact that he was able to actually have a childhood and how everyone is in parody compared to like the situation he was in Marley. I think obviously it would be a different scenario here, but then also Reiner would have been shipped over or been consumed already
Yeah.
because they would have been like, you don't get to say shit like that, and then someone else would have gotten the armored titan. But it's you can see that she's grasping onto it a lot stronger than the others did because I feel like she feels as though she has more to lose because she's kind of what she might think of as an underdog because there are other people going for the same specific titan, and she probably thinks that like I need to be able to succeed here because other warriors came over to parody and failed, which what I imagine what she's like might be thinking is Annie failed. Porco's brother failed. Um, Berthold failed. Like she's seen all these people fail and taking people that she knew, and now she just realized that what she's been told all of her life is a lie. And I think right now the only thing that's kind of keeping her sane is her ideals that she was taught when she was a kid because we saw it earlier on in the episode with her talking about how her like she didn't want Falco to die. So she's probably still feeling guilty about her friends dying, so the only thing currently keeping her sane is her ideals, which her ideals are not correct, obviously. I'm not saying that's
No.
okay, but that's probably her just trying to grasp onto sanity at this point. Because
Yeah.
if that's not the case, then what has she been doing? Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's I still don't like her though, but I digress. So I still don't. Yeah, and she's kind of blowing her cover here because she's now going off about how the people of Parody and the Eldians need to atone for their sins, which seems kind of weird that she would go on about this. And yeah, um, when as if she was really, my goodness, and when Kaya asked like how this would have related to her family's deaths, Gabi told her that my goodness, that if they continued to act like saints, that they would continue to be like essentially, my goodness, they would continue to be plagued by their sins. That's what it was. And continued to go on. And then while Gabby and Falco argue about this, and Falco telling her like she's been so nice to us, like why are you saying stuff like this? And then Gabby going on about how LD is so terrible that they missed Kaya mentioning the fact that like, is that what you were taught in Marley? And then Falco just like takes a moment and turns his head and is like, what did you just say? And she said, "You two came from Marley, right?" And then when Falco asked if how she knew, she's like, "You have to ask. You guys were yelling it out loud." So they realized that she was essentially there for their entire time that they were yelling in the woods, and they're an idiots. Like once again, both of them are dumb, and Kaya's just like, I haven't said it. Like obviously, like she knew this the entire time, but she still wanted to be nice to her. And how Gabby repaid her was grabbing a pitchfork, and tries to kill her in broad daylight. Um,
Yeah, Fee beat me to it.
does not go wrong.
My initial reaction was like, "Oh, look, like that's how cool!" Like she knows that they're Marlians, and she still decided to like take them in anyway and give them like hospitality. And Gabby's like, "You've shown your true colors. You have to die." What?
And like this, Gabby needs to calm down. And when some of the other people working at the farm were like, "Are you guys okay? Like, what the heck's happening over there?" Instead of ratting on them, Kaya just says like, "Oh, Maya's just jealous, and she thinks that I'm stealing her brother away from her." And the other workers are just happy to see that Kaya seems to be like kind of becoming herself again. Obviously hinting at the fact that we saw her last episode sobbing over Sasha's grave. So it's kind of nice to see that she's trying to grow up past that and try to deal with her grieving period. Words are hard, guys.
Super hard.
Yeah, we get to one of get to one of the more difficult portions of the episode where she takes them back to the village that we saw in season 2, and she tells them all about what happened to her and her mother, which if you didn't watch season 2 and you're listening to a podcast about season 4, don't know why you're doing that,
That's on
but
you.
here
It's
we
your fault.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bold play. We'll see how it pays
bold
off.
play. If you do not remember, Kaya was the young girl that Sasha found in the town. She was left alone, and did not speak for the majority of that particular time. And she found out that Kaya's mother had been getting consumed by a titan, and unfortunately, rather than trying to save both of them, Sasha knew that the only way to save themselves was to take Kaya and run. And so she saved Kaya, because she realized that like her mother was essentially a lost cause, unfortunately. um, and Kaya kind of goes into more details about the fact that her mother screamed until she had no voice anymore, so she was just alive the entire time she was getting eaten by this titan, which is a very difficult thing to hear her say.
Horrifying.
And we just see
Haunting.
Gab it's haunting, and then they end up in the house that they were in season 2, And we see Gabi and Falco just being petrified by the thought, which honestly, you watch your parents get consumed and you end up being somewhat sane, if not like completely sane like Kaya is. Like she's definitely a very strong young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think I'd be able to handle watching my family getting eaten by
Yeah,
in front of me.
and be so cool about it, you know? Like she
So cool
Yeah.
about it.
meaning like she's
So chill.
talking about it. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry. So chill. Sorry. That's not a word in my dictionary.
No, I'm just like, for me, I was
She
like,
was
she seems detached.
Yeah, she seems haunted by it.
Emotionless.
That is-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's what I meant to say.
So mellow
well,
about it.
hollow.
she was strong enough to take them back to the village, which is character
Mhm.
growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, this is she just went into detail. And I would be petrified too. It's and then it just ends up where she continues saying that that humanity outside the wall thinks that we are devils, but tells them that she doesn't understand why they're hated so much. She then asks both of them, like, what did my mother do to be hated so much? Um, and then Gabi goes on to yell about the fact that their kind slaughtered thousands of people thousands of years ago. And when Kaya questions, like, thousands, like, what do you mean thousands of years ago? Gabi just goes on about the fact that the Eldian people used the power of the Titans to terrorize the world for millennia, and how they wiped out cultures, forced others to bear their children, and murdered endless groves of people. And Kaya tells her that her mother was born and raised in parody and that she did nothing like that and she was just her mother. Um, and there's a constant argument between her and Gabi about the fact that like Gabby's going on about the fact how terrible like the Eldian people are, and that they should atone once again for their sins, and the sins of their ancestors were terrible and great. And Kaya questions her again about putting the blame of
Mhm.
them on the people of the past. How have the people who are living now sinned? Like, yes, maybe in the past people did this, but what have we done?
Yeah.
And Gabi says, like, not long ago, you guys trampled my home, and Kaya tells her, my mom was killed 4 years ago, so it wasn't wasn't her fault. And Gabi continues on saying, like, well, your ancestors killed people, and I said, my mom didn't. My mom didn't kill anybody, so why is she getting blamed for all this? Like, why is she getting hated for something that she didn't cause or what she did? Like, everyone's ancestors did something terrible, but why is my mom getting blamed for it now? Um,
Gabby's
God,
face was like
yeah,
chef's kiss for me right here. Like this was like I loved every second of her like freaking out of like her like own like internalized morality being questioned and not knowing how to handle that was perfect for me.
You could really see her
yeah.
brain begin to fry in this
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Absolutely. Like just her turning.
It was almost like continue.
No, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. You see, I already forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead, Fee.
How dare you?
My apologies.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Mm.
Ruben.
See what you do,
No,
Ruben.
I was going to say I was going to say that her face was reminding me of Reiner in the 4th episode where he's having a conversation with Aaron and trying to realize that everything like when he was in parody, it wasn't that bad. Like he was able to be himself there. And just seeing him like struggle with that information and seeing him at the dinner table in episode 2 talking about like Sasha eating the potato and how Mikasa was so strong and stuff like that. Seeing him like having that internalized struggle, that was almost the same face that we saw here with
Hmm.
Gabi, realizing that like, oh crap, like still there. Like, she still definitely has those walls up, but it's slowly starting to crack here.
Wow.
God, yeah. God. Yeah, because Kaya, like, I wrote this down, what Kaya specifically says, like, why did my mother have to suffer like that? There has to be a reason. It's crazy if it's not. Why was my mother eaten alive? Why was she killed? And she grabs Gabby's shoulders, like, during this particular argument, and just kind of like staring right into her, like, making her try to like focus on her, and crying at the same time. Like, they're both crying, they're both like really upset, but Kaya's really trying to hit the nail on the head with her.
Mhm.
And Falco cuts in and explains why. He explains what happened to Kaya and her mother, and it was essentially they were stuck in the crossfire. That it was a on in force, and that 4 years ago it was a strategy to create a stage for a larger attack, and that her mother and her were just caught up in what happened, um, and didn't do anything wrong. Gabby got real pissed off about the fact that he was telling her secrets, but Kaya thanked her for it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, but then tells him, like, I think it's weird that you're apologizing for Marley. All you did was you were just born there. So you see the like huge differences between Gabby and Kaya, whereas Kaya's like, I'm not gonna blame you for your like people, your like city and or your country for what they did. You didn't do anything. Whereas Gabby's putting the blame on absolutely every Eldian other than herself.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, and the next scene, we see Gabby questioning Falco and telling him why he's providing Kaya secret information, and continue. Um, and Falco asks her, "How did you manage to escape and survive?" And Kaya tells them about a girl that's a little bit older than her, grabbed a hatchet and started hitting the Titan. The hatchet's still in the ceiling, as I mentioned before earlier on. Um, Falco kind of is like, "That's crazy. Who would do that?" And Kaya says like she put her life on the line for her, and then allowed her to escape. And then this is when the ending music starts, as she's looking off into the distance and saying, if she was still alive, she wouldn't have abandoned people like you without nowhere to go. Um, just like she didn't abandon me. And then Kaya tells them that we were invited to a restaurant um, run by a Marlian, and he's working
Oh,
there
from the last
along.
episode. Yes.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yes. Did you not realize that, Christian?
Just right now. It's
Right
clicking.
now?
It's clicking right now. Oh my god.
And
Amazing when it all comes together, right?
she says, I want to become a person like her. That's when we get into the closing music. I
That's the
cried.
end of the show.
It was
Well,
not.
then there's the after scene credit.
That's right.
Like, after credits.
One of the more important scenes of the
We're back
episode.
in. What? Oh my god. We're back in Marley. Whoa.
It's about time.
We find out that they know that Zeke has infiltrated, like, he was the
Zeke is the
mole in the
deceiver.
Marleyan.
Mhm.
He's the deceiver. Whoa.
That's great.
Because when they were checking the beast Titan's body, they found an arm and a leg, but they didn't find his whole body. And they also found ODM gear that was modified with Marleyan technology, which is definitely not great for the Marleyans, because that means that he's been providing details this entire time. And that's how the devils of parody were able to maneuver a lot easily as well during their attack on Marley. They realized that the only people who could have pulled that off with the airship and with all this gear was the team that they lost 4 years ago, and that they were probably run by Eldian restorationists, which the entire warrior team is just like, oh no! And Porco is instantly disgusted that he's fought alongside a traitor this entire time. And Magath tells them that in 6 months, the world is going to launch an offensive on the island of Paradis. Is like, well, that's too long. We can't just wait 6 months to save Falco and Gabi. And the fact that they were replacements for the warriors for the Beast Titan, not the Beast Titan, they were warriors in training. One of them was going to be Armor Titan replacement, and that they were the most talented recruits and that it would take forever to replace them. And Reiner chimes in and says, we can't wait 6 months, because if we wait 6 months, Zeke will probably have a plan to fight back. We need to launch a surprise attack at once. And then that's the end of the episode.
Amazing.
Thoughts?
I did not watch the preview for the next episode though. I stopped there.
Neither did I.
Neither did I.
I did, but that's okay.
Of course. You already know what's gonna happen, so it's okay.
Yeah, I was like, I want to know what they're animating.
Yeah. Anybody have any thoughts on things? What we think is gonna happen? Well, it's really Christian.
I mean, some kind of confrontation at the restaurant, right? With Gabi and the other Marlians. Maybe someone else is there from the Eldian group.
Yeah.
So that has potential to be really exciting for me.
I like how that's what you automatically go to, not the the Eldians are coming over too.
Oh yeah, the attack too.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, the attack will happen, but I don't see that happening next episode.
I see that happening episode 16.
Really?
At the earliest.
You
At
see
the
it
earliest,
happening
yes.
Yeah.
16? Well, he said we have to go now, so I assume that's gonna happen next episode.
But it at the Sea of the Seven Seas.
That's not how TV works.
There's an
That's not-
there's an
That's
ocean.
exactly how that works.
They'll
We
take a
didn't-
ship probably. They'll probably take an airship.
Yeah, we didn't see them traveling the air from Mars.
The only reason I see them using an air, don't they only use an airship though for Zeke? Like, isn't that really the only use for one is to
Yeah.
drop humans?
I mean, I don't think they have any ships right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think they have anything right now.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't see the Eldians from Paradise travel to from Marley. We just saw them immediately back.
Listen, I will make a bet with you right now, if you want.
Okay, what's the bet? Entice me.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like $5 or I buy you food. That we don't see any kind of attack until episode 16.
Any kind of attack until episode 16.
Any kind, yeah.
Are
I don't
we-
think Marley comes to Paradise until episode 16.
Wow, really?
Are we seeing a pizza bet here? Are we
Yeah,
betting a pizza?
I'll
let's do
do
a Domino's pizza bet. How about that one?
Pizza bet.
I'll do it.
Okay, so
Lock-
you're
locked
saying
in.
Pizza.
we have 4 episodes left, but before.
Yes, sir. Yeah, easily.
Okay,
12, 13, 14,
Now,
I
15.
definitely agree.
let's put some rules on this pizza bet. It can't be more than $15, I would assume, right? Let's try to
A
make
pizza from Domino's is like $5.99, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I'm saying, we can't order 25 pies. You know what
No,
I'm
no,
saying?
no.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
you're
one pie.
getting like one large
No,
or something.
it's a one pizza bet.
How are
Okay,
you
okay.
getting
Yeah.
25 pies with $15?
That's what I'm saying. We have to put a price on it. Because I could have said,
One
yeah, you
pizza?
said a pizza bet, and I ordered 25 pies. He still has to
One
pay.
large 2-topping pizza.
Oh, thank God. Can we throw in a soda in there?
There we go.
I'll throw in a soda, sure.
Okay, all right, cool. All
You
right,
get 1 2-liter.
A 2-liter of Coke.
that's right.
Pepsi.
You know that's right. No, they don't sell Pepsi at Domino's.
Canadian Coke.
Ugh, I'd rather we didn't.
Yeah,
Um,
they do.
Okay, all right, you're on. I'll
My
take this bet.
Domino's is Pepsi only.
Really?
Wait, Don.
Domino's?
Yeah.
Huh? My Domino's only has Coke. Really weird.
Weird.
Very weird. I guess it's
Domino's
like a
has
franchise
marijuana.
thing. I guess it's a franchise
Mm.
thing. Okay. All right. Do we want to say anything else before we close out the show? V?
Come back to me.
Okay. Christian?
Gabby, get it together. Let's figure this stuff out. Figure life out. Come on now.
Okay. What about you, Ryan?
Gabby, therapy is always an option. Remember that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fee, I'm just right back to you. Anything?
Damn it all to hell, guys.
What did you say?
Damn it all to hell.
Well,
I'm going to take that as a no. You got nothing.
Gabby. Just no. Just no. Gabby.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Nice.
I'll take it.
hashtag no Gabby.
Oh, God.
Just hashtag no.
We have a special guest in the stream chat. At that Mario Rivero says fee.
I love Mario.
But Mario.
What's up? How's it going? I'm sorry, Mario. You caught us literally at the end of the show. With
Man.
that being said, Ryan, where can people find you?
Yes. People can find me down there at Ryan the Lion 3055 on Twitter.
It's that. No, the other way.
It's in this area.
God. Oh, okay.
It's low.
Yeah.
It's low.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me there for anime hot takes and whatever else I'll be up to.
Okay. Christian, where can people find you?
Yes, Mario. If you're in the chat still,
He's still
let me know your zodiac sign. I will give you your Attack on Titan zodiac. You can find me at ISO Christian to keep up with all my Twitch streams, as well as updates on my movie podcast, Large Popcorn. We just launched an episode today with Ruben as a guest, talking about Tron Legacy. Unfortunately, we did not know Daft Punk was breaking up at that point, but it is what it is.
Heartbreaker, guys.
I know.
I was very upset yesterday.
It was not a good day yesterday.
No, to the point where I wanted to get them into a room and be like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, come on, get it together. You guys can't."
If it made you feel better, I did watch Tron Legacy yesterday.
Oh, nice.
It did make me feel better. Thank you.
Cool movie, that one.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Cool. Fee, where can people find you?
I don't know. I'm just joking.
I don't know. Okay, that's cool.
I'm saying that specifically. Mario might still be in the chat.
Mario's
You
still in the
guys can
chat.
find me Ceramics up there.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I know where my name is, or like my gamer tag is, like right here.
Gamer tag. Okay.
Well, I mean, it is technically my gamer tag.
I would've said social handle.
It's also my Twitch and my Twitter, where I post all sorts of fun, entertaining stuff. And you could also find me at the Point in Progress podcast. You can follow us on Twitter, on all podcast areas where you can listen to podcasts. Also on our YouTube, we hit 118 subscribers.
I'm so jealous.
Woo!
So jealous.
So we did that. We posted patch notes today, which is us talking about Nintendo Direct. Also, I definitely apologize in advance for anyone who listens to that podcast, because I definitely was intoxicated. So GG that podcast.
This just got interesting. Yeah.
I drank a Moscow Mule, like an entire can of it, in like 5 minutes before the podcast, and then I was just like, "Hey, should I drink more?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay." So then I brought on spicy takes, and
So
one
when
I
are you
need
showing
to.
up drunk to this podcast?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Maybe the last one.
Okay.
We'll have a part.
I like it.
Made for a
That's okay.
You can also find me on another podcast on here, because I was on an episode of Anime Nation last week where we talked about romance anime, and it was super awesome. I talked about a specific spicy take, and reminded myself afterwards that I didn't talk about You're in High School Host Club on a romance anime podcast.
Yeah.
So just
Neither did I, so it's okay.
Nice job,
it's okay.
guys.
I
Nice job.
definitely also talked about the fact that Dawn slightly reminds me of Dragon Ball Z on an intoxicated podcast, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bold.
Speaking of YouTube subs,
Yes.
let me give you an update. I had made I had made it a goal by the end of February to get 100 YouTube subs, so I can also change my custom URL because I fucking hate this thing. You know, I'm currently at 42 subscribers, so like, guys, let's
The meaning of life.
We got to push. Yeah.
42. That's right.
42.
Jackie Robinson's number.
Yeah, the meaning of life.
That is Jones's number.
Jackie
Mhm.
Robinson was
Yeah.
the meaning of life. That's right. Yeah. So we can do this. I know we can. If I got 19 people to follow me, that's not the right math, but sure. Let's say 19 people. I got 12
Nowhere
people. 12
near
people.
the right.
12 people. 12 people. I was close. It was in
You're
the
right.
teens. It was in the teens. 12 people to follow me within the first 2 days, I think. That's progress, guys.
Heck
We
yeah.
got how many
is
days left?
Wait,
What?
did you
You
say
could say
12 is part of the
point
team?
progress.
12 is part of the teens, yes. Meaning like 10 to
Okay.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for tripping me up on this. Yeah, so if we can get that to 100, that'd be great, you know. So, guys, get on top of it, you know. We are doing State of Play live reaction Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Let's go. Sony, bring it, okay? We did
Bring what Nintendo couldn't.
well,
I'll put $10. It's worse than Nintendo's.
listen, some people
Wow.
say that Nintendo Direct was pretty good. That's all I have to say.
I thought it was fire.
Are those the same people that think the Snyder Cut is going to be cool?
Again, I had
Probably.
that same feeling, but like, and then Zack Snyder put out
The Joker.
Jesus.
They had
Jesus.
Joker
Famicom,
Jesus.
guys. Famicom.
That is true. Yeah,
Famicom?
that I loved. I love that.
Yeah, I'm very interested about
Yes.
that. I'm ready to play it, you know. But also, like, the real winner was Project Triangle Strategy. You know, I'm all for it. Let's go. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, that's it. Leave a like,
Legit.
subscribe, comment below to see what let
Legit.
us know what you think. We did talk about. I have one more thing that I have to discuss before we exit out the show. Ryan, you're a phony.
How am I a phony?
You lied about the only the only thing that was different between Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was the ending, but that's a lie.
Like half the show is different.
Yeah, half the show is
Yeah,
completely
that would be-
different.
Half the show is different. Yeah, I said right. We got to that. I was like, that's why I asked, was Armstrong's sister in it? I was trying to figure out the stop point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you had said the last 10 episodes of the show was different.
Because I thought it was shorter than the original. I thought it was.
You're unbelievable, this guy. Over here backpedaling. Unbelievable. So,
I don't
that's all I
think
got.
backpedaling, but okay.
I mean, you did backpedal, you know.
I'm not the one who thinks it's good.
I stand by
That's
it.
the bigger-
I stand by it. I stand by it. It's a good piece of content. But that's neither here
No.
nor there. Thank you guys for joining me on this wonderful journey we call life. Today on this Tuesday of February. Have a good night.
Cars is the best anime.
No.
Cars